Hi, good morning. My name is Jan van Zyl, and welcome back to all my patients and visionaries. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about prisms and how does prisms work? How do we use it in the practice to actually assist patients that's got vertical phoria or tropia, maybe that's had a stroke, or alternatively has some problems with binocular vision and one of the eye muscles might have just been a little bit weak or affected. There's numerous reasons why this would happen. And how then do we use prisms in the practice? Now, let's have a look at firstly, what does a prism do? And if you look at this piece of paper, you can actually see how the prism actually moves the line. And as you can see, this is a prism that is now base up. So if you look at the thick part, you'll see the thick part is at the top and the thin part, the apex, is at the bottom. And you can see how it moves the line towards the bottom. Now, this is what we say prism base up. It moves the image down. Now, when it comes to vertical separation of images, vertical heterophoria or vertical phoria, your brain is not very strong to actually get those two images actually fused together. So if there are two images, if you have a pure vertical phoria, you will find that if you get tired, everything is going to split. And what I always tell the patients is that, if you want to actually have a look just now, when it's maybe full moon, the next full moon, just go outside and look at the moon. Sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it? But look at the moon. The moon should be nice and round with a clear edge. Now, if there is a slight vertical separation between the two eyes, you very often find that the moon has got an extra edge, or sometimes you see two moons. That is a really very simple test to do. It's extremely effective, and that'll give you an idea if you have a vertical separation or not. Vertical separations can be quite problematic. Now, if you look at this prism, this is prism base down. You can see the base, the thick part, is at the bottom. The thin part is at the top. And look how it moves the line now again up. So it moves the line towards the apex. Now, how do we actually now treat vertical phoria or tropias? Now, in my hands, I have a 3-prism diopter lens. And if you look at the horizon, you'll see the true horizon is up and towards the right, or up and towards the left. But the prism, because it's a prism base up, it moves the whole image down towards the apex. Now look at the difference. Now imagine now, and I actually had a patient that was an undiagnosed 3-prism vertical deviation. Now imagine this patient, all the texts are double. You can see, like, if the horizon is double like this, just imagine this patient. It's a bit windy, apologies for that. But this is what a prism in the vertical alignment does, or vertical misalignment does. So if we have a vertical separation, what we would normally tend not to do is only place a prism in the one eye to move, say, for example, the bottom one up or the top one down. What we would actually do is we would actually divide the prisms, and we would put, say, for example, 1 or 1.5 prism base up, and then it'll move the image down, and 1.5 prism base down, it'll move the image up so that the two eyes are level. It's relatively speaking the same if you do that or if you do this, but it's just far more normally the lenses are the same thickness, you have the prisms divided, and you actually change the direction. So if you go up and down, you go 1/2 or 1.5 prisms, say, for example, base up, and you go down, and 1.5 prisms base down, and you go up. and you actually meet, the two eyes meet in each other in the middle, and you create a stable binocular visual field. Now, when we treat vertical phorias, we don't have to put the vertical prism totally in the one eye to take this line now that's at the bottom up. It's all relative. We can actually take this line that's at the bottom now halfway up, and the top line we can actually bring halfway down. So we move the whole thing. The body is very good at adapting like that. As long as the two lines are level, as long as the two lines meet each other, then it's fine. So we don't have to just take one eye up or the other eye down totally. Otherwise, you'll end up with a thick pair of glasses like this in the one lens and nothing. Look at how thin that is on the other side. So we can take the top line, we can take that down halfway, and the bottom line we can take up halfway, and then as long as the two images forms one line or one image, we're all fine.